Welcome back to Vintage Vinyl. Down in the basement, CourierJournal.com with my good buddy Tom Heiser. I'm Jeffrey Lee Puckett, music writer at the Courier Journal. We're going to, what are you looking for there, Heiser?
I tell you what, for this episode, I think we need a 12 of Guinness.
12? Only 12?
Only 12.
It's low alcohol.
That's low alcohol. We need 12. We need 12 because in order to get through the very best of Van Morrison, one of Northern Ireland's greatest singers,
we should be drunk.
We should be drunk.
I'd say Northern Ireland's greatest singer.
Yes, let's just go ahead and say that.
Yeah.
The best of Van Morrison.
Make it official.
Arise, they shone like diamonds. I thought her the queen of the land. And her hair is hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band.
Van the Man, one of my favorites. An actual angry leprechaun come to life.
Yes.
That is not being insensitive. He really is an angry leprechaun. He's a mystical, magical creature who has so many more songs beyond Brown Eyed Girl.
Yes, which we guarantee you folks will not show up. I mean, if you want to go to the Kentucky State, if you want to go to the Mike Lenning's tent and listen to Are You Okay? Yeah, I guarantee you will hear Brown Eyed Girl, but you're not going to hear it here.
All right, Heiser, kick us off.
I'm kicking it off with Full Force Gale.
I love that song.
Like a full force gale.
That's the last one cut off my list.
Again. Number 9, Sweet Thing.
I love that
Slow
song.
and mellow and fantastic. Number 8, a fun song, The Bright Side of the Road.
Yes.
I want to say from early on. I'm trying to date that one.
That's from Into the Music.
Is that Into the Music? Okay.
Yeah. I think that was 78, something like that.
Number
79.
7, very slow but a very powerful ballad, A Wonderful Remark.
I don't recall that one.
That, yes. Was a wonderful remark. And at number 6, Fighting Hard to get into the top 5, but this was a true battle. This was legendary Caravan.
Did not make
a top 5. I know. And strong at 6. It's holding it there, but it was a struggle. I'm sorry.
Well, I don't know about that.
Well, that just shows how strong my top 5 is.
I went with, this is, my number 10 is the only song on my list that Van did not write.
He didn't write it. Can't be on your list. It can't be on your list. This is, what's going on here? You can't do that. Sorry, folks, for those fans, the real Van Morrison fans, they will, they'll have to just forgive Jeffrey for this one.
Anyway, Carrickfergus. It's an old Irish ballad. He did an album with the Irish Rovers.
Oh, yes.
The band, or not the Irish Rovers, the Chieftains.
The Chieftains.
I get them mixed up.
IRA, number 1 on the IRA hit list.
It's just a heartbroken ballad sung in that brogue.
Yes.
Bright Side of the Road, number 9. Hymns to the Silence, number 8. That's a title track of one of my favorite Van albums, a double album. Into the Mystic. I went with the live version from It's Too Late to Stop Now. Both,
interesting.
I mean, the studio version is amazing, but I just went with the live version because there's a little bit more bite to it. And number 6, Wavelength. I just love that song. It's an uneven album, but Wavelength, the song itself, just
outlier.
Is an outlier.
Very strong outlier.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's all about him growing up and listening to American music on the shortwave radio.
Wow.
Never let me down. Oh no.
Well, I guarantee that that our fans, and later on you'll be able to talk more to this, but they may have to weigh in on that one. That's very strong because outliers are always big on this show.
I love them.
Number 5, this is not an outlier, and maybe I should be flagellated. For not choosing Caravan here at number 5, but I'm going with Moondance.
I can see your struggle there.
It was a struggle. This is, I've got to give the shout out here to American Werewolf in London, the steamy love scene with Moondance playing.
Well, it's a marvelous night for a moon dance with the stars up above in your eyes.
Fantabulous night to make romance neath the cover of October skies.
Moondance, of course, from the album Moondance, is a Van Morrison signature. I think he's best at his soul, sort of sexy soulfulness, and this is right up there with those.
Well, you are romantic. That's
Wow.
can't be argued.
Okay.
My number 5 is Dweller on the Threshold. I love the studio version, but the version of live at the Grand Opera House is just spectacular. That's a really good live album. Maybe one day we should do
Best live
live albums.
There we go.
That would be interesting.
Nickelback live? Wow.
I'm a dweller on the threshold, but I cross the burning ground as I go down to the water. Watch the great illusion drown. I'm a dweller on the threshold, and I'm waiting at the door.
Number 4, I'm going with what appeared earlier in our show about our Valentine's Day. Spectacular. Someone Like You.
Oh, that's right.
Which I think is the most, it's not my, now funny, it's number 4 on my list, but it is number 1 as far as just the most romantic songs, the getting busy songs, the songs to tell the special lady in your life, hey, you made the right choice.
Let's make us a baby.
Been searching a long time for someone like you. I would have to have that Guinness or some Smithwick's or something to possibly attain the depth and breadth of Van's voice. But this is about as romantic a song as it's possibly going to get. Ask Bridget Jones.
Wake me up!
Put that crazy girl!
Ask all her fans. You know, they all fall all over Colin Firth. You know, at the end of that movie when he walks out.
I've been searching a long time. Someone exactly like you. I've been traveling all around the world, waiting for you.
I didn't have, nobody screams like that whenever I sing it, but nonetheless, it's powerful.
I'm going with Ain't It Stone Me for number 4. A Moondance classic.
Yes.
Is anyone better at a slow song than Van?
Oh, the water, oh, the water, oh, the water, let it run all over me. And the storm makes to my soul. Storm is just such a road, and a storm be.
That mid-tempo, just sort of getting down into kind of a groove and just going with it.
Absolutely, and I'm gonna echo that with, you've already hit it, number 7, but I'm going into number 3 with Into the Mystic.
Thank you.
Do-do-do. We were born before the way. I mean, that's again that slow tempo and the horns. No one is better at bringing horns into the. Again, it kind of reminds me. I don't want to drag this in here, but Alan Parker's The Commitments. Horns, into that, the soulful, music that they were playing at the time. Nobody does that better, I think, on any album than Van Morrison.
We were born before the wind. Our son younger than the sun. Yeah, the bonnet boat was one. Now we sailing to the mystery.
You know what's fun to do with Van Morrison is
Drink.
well that, but also to while you're listening, just sit with the lyrics. It never fails to be a revelation at what he's actually saying.
Yes.
Because he is the champion non-enunciator of all time.
All right.
I mean,
the non-enunciate. Another show, perhaps.
my number 3 is a teenage Van Morrison, one of the great rock songs of all time, Gloria. He wrote it when he was 18, 19 years old, recorded it with them.
Named for the classic giant ant movie
Yes,
from the 50s.
right.
Yes. So.
Yeah. I once again went with the live version off It's Too Late to Stop Now, just because it has a horn section.
Really?
I struggled at first about maybe not putting Gloria on, but then I thought, what is wrong with me?
Yeah, I would have to say that because it's my number 2.
There we go.
You have to have it because it is so un-Van Morrison. His whole career, as we've said, has been the mid-tempo, the slow, the horns, the sensuality. Then you've got this great tell you about my baby, and the Doors even did what I think is a flawed cover, but it's not bad. But it is a flawed cover of what just sounds like just a great kind of late '60s rock song.
If the Doors did it, it's flawed. It's a flawed cover.
So to say G-L-O-R-I, Gloria. Yes, this
Well,
is.
people forget. I think people tend to forget that a lot of those English bands from the '60s, every single one of them was specifically influenced by American rhythm and blues.
Yes.
And Gloria is an American rhythm and blues song. It's his homage.
Oh, it's great.
The only really cover that compares to them's version is Patti Smith. She does just an unhinged, epic version of Gloria.
Better than the Doors?
My number 2 is Sweet Thing, which
Oh, here we go.
I like that you had it on your list.
Oh, I love it. I love that song.
From Astro Weeks, an album that a lot of people find to be one of rock's top 10 records, easy. And it is. I mean, it's a beautiful, meditative album. Super early album, too. I think it was his second album. So he goes basically from doing fairly hard R&B influenced music into what amounts to a jazz album.
Yes.
We shall walk and talk in gardens, this way with friends, darling, and I shall never grow so again. Sweet thing. Sweet thing.
And then he was into that mode for quite some time. I'd say he's back into R&B a little bit now. But Sweet Thing is just a beautiful song. It also has a great cover version by the Waterboys that is worth checking out. On Fisherman's Blues. What did you put at number 1?
Well,
Heiser?
my number 1 is a song I don't think can be covered. I really don't. Not covered well. It is blues at its very best. It takes one note before you hear half a mile from the county fair and the rain came pouring down. And it stoned me. I think, and I went back and forth on this because Into the Mystic is, sort of has a very special meaning for me. And It Stoned Me is just an absolute knockout of a song. The lyrics are so powerful, and actually the lyrics build because at the very end, it's even the horns are crescendoing and the song just kind of from its very mellow beginning and sort of even mellow middle just really rises up at the very end. I don't think there's anybody that can cover that and give it what it deserves.
Yeah, Otis Redding could have.
Maybe, because you got the horn. I mean, you've got everything there for a classic.
It actually sounds like a Stax Volt song.
It does. It's a classic American soul song, and leave it to our man from the 6 counties to pull it out.
I went with Caravan at number 1, and I went with the very specific version from the Last Waltz movie.
That's very bold that you said that.
If it were just based on the studio recording, it would be lower. But as you well know, when Van the Man walks on stage at the Last Waltz, he basically tears the house apart with that version of Caravan.
Just a heart you in now. Sorry, I'm gonna feed you. We
It's got the big horn section with Alan Toussaint leading the way. And Van is so good. He's so drunk, and he's so good that everyone is just sort of stunned, have these stunned grins on their face when he walks off stage. And, by the way, does the first ever documented mic drop.
Well, yeah, there you go.
Although I think his hands had just gone numb from alcohol.
And it shows you, we've in discussing the band previously, if you need any other reason to see The Last Waltz. No, you're right, because when I was listening, going back and over my my Van Morrison, when I went and listened to Caravan, I listened to The Last Waltz version.
Yeah.
It's just fantastic.
Yeah. All right, there's our Van Morrison. It was tough.
It was tough.
Dude's got so many records.
How does anybody not know him? I mean, that's just it. Okay.
Yeah.
Get out from under that rock.
All right, so go to our Facebook page, Facebook CJ Vinyl. Check it out. Check out our list. Put up your list. I'm sure there's some. I bet there are some really crazy hardcore Van Morrison fans.
Yes, we're going to hear from them. I guarantee it.
Yeah, that address in the phone book is no longer my address. I have moved. So let us know what you think. We'll try and complain back right at you. That's it.
That's it.
We're stunned in the silence.
Wow.
All right. Join us next time here at Vintage Vinyl and CurryJournal.com in the basement with Tom Heiser, Jeffrey Lee Puckett. We'll see you then.